Hello and welcome to Understanding Narcissists. In this video, I want to try to entice you to a certain philosophical principle and life principle in how you conduct yourself that has been very beneficial to me and I think will be very beneficial to you. And this principle is choosing to be strong by choosing to be vulnerable. And let me just say that I know, of course, that I can't make you do anything. That's a good thing that I can't make you do anything. So you have to choose to adopt this or just consider it on your own and how it may help you or not. This principle basically stems from the fact that there are people who want to hurt you in many different ways for whatever reason. It really doesn't matter the reason because it has nothing to do with you. And that's really the whole point, that everywhere you go, there is a possibility that someone is going to hurt you in some fashion. And you don't know the reason, you're not the cause of the reason, you just have to respond to it. You have to deal with it as a fact of life. And of course, I'm also going to take only emotional abuse into account in this video, because that's what this channel is about predominantly, because that's what narcissists do. But aside from just narcissists, I think this principle is a very powerful one indeed, because it allows you to sort of stick to your own values, be yourself while still being reasonable in your protection of yourself. So in the course of a negative interaction, you can learn a few things from it. The things you learn will affect how you respond in the future. So with narcissists, typically the response is to shut yourself off from people, from the world, and be very guarded. And of course, that has enormous costs associated with it, because think of all the things you're missing out on just from the fear of being hurt in the way that you were with a narcissist, or anybody else, frankly. This applies to anything, any bad situation. The point I'm trying to make in this video is that the most effective response, at least in improving your life, would be to adopt a very open door policy, so to speak. And what I mean by that is, in order to express your strength, which is what you need to protect yourself, the best thing you can do is be direct, forward, honest, and really assertive of your values, but in a healthy and non-abusive way. And the way to do that is by opening up to people and remaining open to people. Because the problem, even though it may seem that it's something else, the problem is actually not so much opening up to people, being vulnerable exactly. It's not being strong enough to express yourself. So let me give you an example. I'm not telling you that you should let all bad people into your life. It's quite the contrary. Being strong will repel the bad people. But being open and embracing of others and their good values, because we're not all good or all bad. We have good and bad things, some more than others. And when you embrace and foster the good things in yourself, then you do so in other people, and you attract those people, and you attract and foster the good things in them as well. And so that's what I'm really getting at here. I'm trying to say that by being yourself and being direct and honest is an expression of strength, and is also a way to defend yourself from harmful people emotionally, physically too, but it's a different thing we're not going to touch upon here. And that will improve your relationships and friendships going into the future. With a narcissist, they will lead you to believe, for their own benefit, that you have to remain guarded and protective and really deceitful. That's what you do. You have to keep people guessing. You can't let them in. You can't let them know what you're thinking, because then they could target you and possibly get you, possibly hurt you, because they know how you really feel about things. And so you want to keep a guise going at all times, a veil that would keep you safe, would keep you in a defensive position so that nobody could hurt you. Well, let's just take a look at that for a second. That's what the narcissist does. Has it worked out very well for them? Do you know anybody that does that definitively, that is very happy or does very well? I do not. I don't see anybody I want to model myself after who behaves that way. So that's why I tend to toss that aside, even if that's just mainstream advice or not. That's also been my experience. You will find that the most effective way to deal with narcissists and repel probably all emotionally abusive people is to be strong. And it's not by hunting them down and beating them emotionally. You may have to do that in a way on occasion, especially when you're getting into the groove of things, but the way you do it is by being strong. And strong people are open. They are vulnerable. Not vulnerable necessarily to attack, but they're vulnerable in that they are expressive of how they actually feel, and they are honest. And so, again, I'm not saying that you let bad people in your life to hurt you, but that you grow out of the abuse to become a stronger person, and therefore attract strong people. And bad people are to be intimidated when you're somebody who is unaffected by them. It's not that you sit there and let them beat you with their emotional baggage. It's that you confront them in a direct way, and there are very clear terms, and you simply don't put up with the abuse. That's a lot harder to do when you're living with a narcissist and you've been abused by them for a long period of time. But when you get away and start to grow out of it, that's where you will end up, really inevitably, if you're serious. I'm not trying to say that that's the only thing you can do, but that's really where people end up. And you need to adopt that strength and ability to embrace others for the good that's in them, and the good that you can impart to their life, and then the good that they'll return to your life. And that's really just to paint you a picture of maybe where you're trying to go in your recovery. Maybe I should have illustrated that path a little better earlier on. And hopefully I've done that a little better with this video. And you can have sort of a conception in your head of, in a rough feeling of what you're aiming for, what you're trying to go for, or maybe not. Maybe you don't like that principle and you don't think it's a very good idea. I've just found it to be so powerful in personal growth. So I hope you agree. I hope you like this video. Like it if you do. Share it with somebody you think might benefit from it. Comment in the comment section below about your experience with anything, really. I mean, what do you have to adopt and implement in your life to improve it? What do you do? What are the behaviors you adopt? Because ultimately it does kind of come down to something that's habitual, something you do on a regular basis in your interactions with others. And your introspection, your self-reflection, because that's ultimately where it starts. There's a lot of thinking and emotional processing, and then you start to implement. That's how it tends to happen. But yeah, tell me all about that and share it with others. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.